No.
How about that win from Yealimi at the Founders Cup? Starts the year with a win. Jin Young Ko was in the mix, kind of made a mess of the back nine, and Noh was like, look, I'm just not going to back down in this fight, and goes and wins for the first time to become now a top 20 player in the world. We all knew her promise and what she was capable of doing when she turned professional several years back, but still just 23 years old, and now kind of the next step is competing and contending in these types of tournaments.
She had the game to step up. I think she only missed 2 greens in the last 3 rounds when she went on to win. Prolific green hitter, and that always plays in the majors.
The putter yesterday for her as well. Did hit 13 greens, but 32 putts, and starts with a rocket down the middle here at.
Yealimi really has been working on her game for a few years. She changed putter. She changed a lot about her game, and she also tried to gain distance. And it took her a little bit to get there, but she's been playing so well, obviously this season and the end of last year. But she has 118 yards. Wouldn't be surprised if she has like a 50 degree in her hand.
Dartboard right now. We saw a little bit of firmness in this golf course late yesterday in that opening round, but again, end of year, but trying to make a cut in her first Chevron appearance. There you see that putter change Emma was talking about. It's the broomstick for Noh.
Since 2023.
Sign me up after that one. Opening birdie, and the rally beginning here for one of our 8 winners this year, and one of several first-time winners on the LPGA Tour.
To Europe, coming from Angela Stanford anytime soon, let us tell you.
I like the mind games. I mean, this is like it's the reverse scout, right? You know, you've got Anna Nordqvist playing alongside 2 players that could be picks for her team next year, and instead you've got the opposing captain out there trying to figure out, well, what are the weaknesses today?
Yealimi having just a couple yards ahead of Lindy, 175 yards today. She has gained so much distance over the last couple years, so that's really going to help her today of trying to climb the leaderboard.
Just got ahead of that. Hips beat the upper half, little squeeze right.
It's just really, really wet out here, too. The girls, you can just see the mud flying everywhere.
Not a good day for White, Will. Think of Ingrid. White shirt.
As we go up to that green, and Noh trying to avoid giving back the shot she earned at 10.
You know, she has switched to this broomstick, and she's been putting really good. I feel like, Al, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but she had about 60 feet on their first putt and left herself with this long one. I feel like sometimes the broomstick from far, far away is just really hard with speed control, but I may be completely wrong, but that's my experience. But she's left herself like a 10-footer for par.
I'm with you. It's a lot to move, I think, in terms of taking a big swing at it. Great save, though, right there. So we'll walk away with a par, but it's a lot of lumber.
It's a lot of lumber to carry. Sticking out of the bag, taller than the driver. That's why the caddy's so valuable. Good save for Noh to stay +1. And now one more tee shot after that great par save. Yealimi Noh keeping this good start going. And this was the 5th easiest hole yesterday in the opening round. That was that front hole location. Players couldn't make a mistake short. Today, trying to keep it underneath the hole, and Noh looking to dial one in here.
She has an 8-iron in her hand. She had 2 clubs. And right before she hit, now she's hitting 8-iron, 162.
Not the plan.
Yealimi Noh for birdie at 12, looking for her second birdie in her first 3 holes.
See a lot of people underread it from over that side. Just won't be comfortable going up close enough to the fringe mark with the left to right break. Had plenty of pace on it too. Just something slightly awkward about that back left corner.
Yeah, this putt from Sarah is going to be pretty difficult.
For the par.
From the nicest spot too.
How much of that is sort of, it's against your instincts? It's not instinctual to literally putt away from the hole in a lot of respects, and that's what she's trying to do there. I mean, you have lag putts for speed, but you're still thinking I'm going to lag it near the actual cup itself.
I think there's a part of that, and I'm curious for Emma's take. You know, she's out there walking, because you're playing for smaller sections of the greens as well, so there is a lot that's counterintuitive. You know, the idea of being okay with missing the green rather than aiming for the fatter part, yeah, where it might be harder to make a 2-putt from. There's lots of that out there this week, Emma.
Yeah, there's a lot of slopes. There's a lot of little subtle breaks here on these greens. You kind of have to just really be patient with yourself and try not to make those big numbers and place the ball in the bigger part of the greens on every hole.
And that goes in the category of a soft bogey for Yealimi Noh, I'm afraid.
I think it will make it a little easier this morning, kind of like we saw yesterday morning. The balls just aren't rolling as much on the green, so it is easier this morning to kind of get those balls stopped in those.
Really tucked hole location today at this par 5.
Yeah, this par 5's playing a bit longer for the girls today, even more so. They all had wedges in their hands, and this pin position is really tricky because it seems like it's on a little bit of a plateau, but long is definitely better than short. Short, she actually landed hers on the green, spun back, and she's got a little bit of a tricky chip shot coming up into the grain on an uphill slope, so a bit of a tricky chip shot here. Yeah, this is just going to be one of those par 5s. You see a lot of pars today because of where that pin position is sitting up on a mound on this back right in location. We're kind of taking a look at the lie again. I just think sometimes when it's wet and grainy, it makes it really difficult for the players to decide what kind of shot, especially, you know, she could either bump and run this, or she's going to have to hit something a little higher and softer, which, as you guys know, is pretty difficult when it's wet and grainy.
Sometimes get a little bit more skid on that first bounce.
Contact was good, but again, so much of the guesswork, right? And where to land it, how it's going to land. And after making bogey at her last hole, another lengthy par saver. She's gone to the well now 3 consecutive holes trying to make mid-range putts to save par. We've seen on these soft greens the last couple of days.
Unfortunately, this 12th hole, there's just not many places you can put the pin that it's flat. There's just ridges everywhere. And I think, you know, if the course does dry out, the girls will be able to get a little closer to the hole and maybe just have a little chip shot rather than these long wedge shots coming into the screen. Like I said, they all had full wedges coming in, and Yealimi hers just spun too much on that ridge, the front part of that mound. So it's going to be really tricky today with it being just literally right on top of a mound.
You can see the group behind, they'll be thinking about spin control, what kind of shot they want to hit, what kind of lie they want to give themselves as well. When you put it up on really kind of perched up, spin rate goes up as well. A bit to factor in.
Yealimi trying to save par here.
And she's made the work a little bit more difficult now the rest of this round after starting with that great birdie at 10. That's going to be back-to-back, and now a bogey at a par 5 for the winner of the Founders Cup earlier this year.
Unfortunately, her body language is not good this morning, so hopefully she can turn that around quickly.
4th on tour this year in scoring, if you look at it from a strokes gained total standpoint. So this is a bit of a stunning start this week, as she was hoping that all of that form was really going to allow her to contend this week. It's everywhere. It's really hard to generate a consistent read as we go up ahead. Just chasing through the fairway at 14. Yealimi Noh needs a kind of a settle down shot. She's been in scramble mode for the last half an hour or so.
Unfortunately, she has a ton of mud on this ball, and because it's not in the fairway, she could not clean it. She's got 145. It could knuckle on her.
Or it could do that. Just straight at it.
That was so
pretty
good.
well.
Because the
Goodness.
trees, yeah, the trees were in her way too, so that was amazing.
Little smile there. She knew that was never going in until it dropped. Yealimi Noh.
That's 2. No pressure, Sarah.
Not sure if there's going to be a lot of pressure. This one's really short. It's about 2.5 feet, 3 feet. Same line as
Putter on the greens, but it doesn't always mean that it doesn't have the juice. That time it did. Over to Yealimi Noh.
With her length gains, doesn't need driver here at 15. Do hope this ball goes a little bit, trying to play a little sweeper, and yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer in than she maybe would have liked, but safely in the fairway. Poor Lindy hit. This was Yealimi Noh. Saw that other ball on the green. Coming off that great birdie from the rough at 14, and going to give herself a chance here, albeit unlikely coming down. And Yealimi Noh now for birdie.
she has a very similar line that Lindy Duncan just had. Going to be quick down this hill the last like 10 feet.
Was a good putt from up there. It's the tale of two halves. Everything kind of leaks down to the corner over where Sarah's standing now on this green.
Yeah, all these putts. This is another green that's pretty big, but it's pretty narrow. There's just a lot of subtle breaks.
Flag, Emma.
Yeah, you've got plenty of room on the right. Yealimi with another one-handed finish.
That's right.
And now back at the green. No, close to ready.
Yeah, like I said, it's just all about figuring out what kind of shot you're seeing, what kind of trajectory you see because of how downhill this shot is and also the slope that you're dealing with. She, I mean, you could do so many different things, but I think her plan is just to lay in something pretty soft right before the slope and kind of let the slope do the rest of the work here.
Should start breaking back.
Landed that up
Just
in the
didn't quite hit her
French.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about laying it years in a row.
No kidding. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stephen on the bag.
Yealimi with the broomstick. Trying to save par. Just remembering that Sarah's inside of that. So she's going to be last to putt. Yealimi's is going to break left to right downhill the whole way. Pretty grainy as well.
Tried to hang in there for as long as possible. And we can start cut sweating a little bit for Yealimi Noh, who's going to fall back to 3 over with that bogey. She's got a really interesting majors career as she tries to make the cut here today. She made the cut in 9 consecutive majors to start her professional career.
Club do the rest. 7-iron in hand.
Should be a pretty nice number for a 7.
Finished that swing nicely, but over finished a bit. That pitched relatively softly, so that might be okay on the bank. There's a little bit more grass, just body and wellness overall. And if there's golf benefit to it, great. As Yealimi Noh tried to chip in for birdie there. I think about it with Charlie Hull all the time. She had a kind of a quote that went viral earlier this year in the golf fitness community that she kind of said, I don't like golf fitness. I don't like the workouts. I like to do what I do. Well, a heavy majority of the work that she posts on her Instagram feeds of working out are really good golf workouts. A lot of the explosive work, the power work that she does, she just doesn't necessarily create a template that is specifically for golf. She just enjoys the workout process, and much of it has to do with her mental state more than...
Emma's seen it time and time again from Lindy Duncan over the years. If you want to see a handmade gadget, go to Lindy.
She has all the tricks. She we all kind of make fun of her, but it's all out of love. She has all the tricks in the bag. I'm sure Angela has asked her for a few drills herself, because I know I have.
Multiple pool noodles?
Yeah. Total MacGyver in terms of trying to make something for a swing field.
We're here at 18 in these wet conditions. 3-shot holes for pretty much the entire field. So he gets the front 9 par 5s, and now the last approach shot up ahead from Noh. Look at that spin, rips it through the fringe. That's going to get all road win for the United States that our Angela Stanford's going to try and make possible next year to keep the cup. Now up on the green, Yealimi Noh just ripped that wedge into the green, sort of took away the chance to make her birdie, and you can see the frustration as she turns. It'll be a 1 over par on the back 9 for her. 3 over par for the week, and some work to do coming up on her final 9 holes today. Emma, this is a healthy hole today.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? These girls can do it. But Yealimi Noh has 173, better angle, much better lie than Lindy did. So she can kind of be a little more aggressive.
Just hasn't had the iron play today, has she? Which is usually one of her strengths, averages over 80% of greens in regulation. As we jump up to Yealimi Noh, look at the upslope she's got. Keep your balance here. Let the slope do the work for you. Well done. Yeah, I think understanding that for Sarah Schmelzel, you know, her ball striking is good enough, absolutely. A good...
Hole locations that we're standing here looking at saying, I don't really know if this one's totally in play today, and making it look very easy right now. Schmelzel 1 off the lead, and she's going to have a crack coming up at the second to tie the lead. We have not had a single player this week after Rue and Lou posted 7 under in the early wave yesterday. No one's gotten to 7 under. We've had some folks get to 6, but no one outside of that duo has gotten a 7 under par yet this week.
All right, this for the up and down for Yealimi Noh. Just keep on grinding. That one's going to work.
She said it hit that kind of putt, though, a lot of times today. Just hoping that she can find a birdie before the next bogey in her quest to play the weekend. Pending for the thoughts for Yealimi Noh today. Watching two players alongside her combined for 9 under par. But it's been a popular miss. Oh, my goodness gracious. That might not be findable.
No, she might need to hit another. So we hear that Yealimi Noh's found her first drive down here at the second.
Yeah, she has found it. But he think that she'll be lucky to get this in the fairway. Very thick.
Hang on, open the club face.
Gonna have to be really choppy. Yeah, it's gonna have to be very choppy. And you actually taking a bit of an aggressive line more than I think I would. I think I would come. Yeah, just gonna go. It's interesting.
That hit something else. Oh dear, errors compounding. And she can't afford them. Yeah, it was always going to be a little tricky getting the roll right. This is tricky too for Yealimi Noh. At least she has an avenue. Someone likes it back there. Just left of centre for her. Yealimi Noh now. Interesting, both of those have really dug their hit 2 shots back with the company of Schmelzel now. It's been an adventurous journey to here down the second for Yealimi Noh. Really needs this. Can't drop 2 right now. Gets it too.
But the second takes its pound of flesh, doesn't it, here from this group, including knocking Schmelzel off of that pedestal at 3 under par, or excuse me, at 6 under par, back to 3 under for the round, 5 under for the week.
But probably a lot of room to make pars. I would say there's going to be lots of pars on this hole, not many birdies per se.
Lindblad with a little work to do in the sand that Lindy Duncan was in. See if Yealimi can straighten things out.
Just cover. That was a moment ago. Now live with Noh, who starts to need special things to happen.
There's no point being defensive now. You know, I think this is the time for Tyler, her caddy, to be like, all right, come on, let's.
Right, put me down for a double.
Brutal. There's plenty of brutal out here. You've got a little opportunity here at 4, second ahead of Yealimi Noh.
She's not having much fun playing golf right now. You can see it in the body language, but got that one. Chase up hole high right. Again, needs to get that up and down for sure for birdie to get back to +3, and then going to have to manufacture a couple of birdies.
It's going to be Yealimi Noh before the par save required of Lindy Duncan.
She had two brilliant approach shots at 10 and 14 that led to some birdies, but has really been fighting her swing for much of this round.
When she's been swinging it great for much of the year. Little movement off her right.
Yeah, good delivery there. Whatever the mini game was between player and caddy, maybe say let's go 3 birdies in this. Let's play this very quickly. Everything's steady as she goes. Then, you know, one little miscue with the wedge, and it's gotten a little off kilter. It's been a little off kilter most of the day for Yealimi. Kind of her day, right?
She's thinking, my kingdom for a green in regulation. The old
good shots. You're going to really maximize your chances of making birdie, but you really don't want to have to lean on having to make birdie, especially at 9. The closing hole in this front 9 is one of the most difficult on the golf course. Again, a short-sighted bunker shot for Yealimi Noh on this inward 9.
About all she could hope for from in there. I think 6 today. Third easiest hole on the golf course. Might be a little.
Your eye line by 10 yards, 15 yards, saying, well, this is not the line I want to take, but it's the line I maybe have to take.
I think that probably would have been the plan to just kind of blast it over the bunkers, but it's not a golf course that really gives you too much to gain off the tee. Like the plan's not going to shift too much, I don't think, with the wet fairways, as we see Yealimi Noh here for par.
That might be the white flag. She's going to need 3 birdies in her last 4 holes for sure at this point in time, but
shouldn't be too much of a problem. Wind is into her face a little bit. You have a little bit of a false front on this green, so pin high right is definitely the goal.
Not having much fun anymore.
No. Kind of resigned to the fate at this point in time after the bogey back at the 5th.
Go to Yealimi Noh.
Yealimi Noh clipped the trees on the left, hit it way left out of the bunker. Now has to hit a flopper over this bunker. Only has about 3 yards of green to work with, short of the flag.
Grand total of 9 feet, hey?
Yeah, there's just no room over there, and they all kind of gave themselves short-sighted shots. The other 2 are looking much easier than Yealimi's shot.
Not even watching that one finish. She's a bit checked out now.
And she hit that way up in the air. Obviously got too much golf ball, but what are you supposed to do? To us before the day was over is we've got 2 long par efforts. Yealimi Noh's got to make this and then make everything else coming in to make the cut.
Tale of 2 halves, not enough on the second one.
And not in for bogey.
You know what? It can't be easy for Yealimi playing the way that she is.
Some storm debris up in the pine straw that she's going to have to deftly lift away.
For a 5.
And this day is not over, but the week certainly is at this juncture for
a little bit over this round, to say the least.
Emma, it was a good observation of yours early doors, how quickly the shoulders slumped today. You know, and we're all human. Sometimes your body, the way you wake up, you're just not ready for the fight, and some days more than others.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think something we all forget is that these players are playing week in to week out. It's really tough to just constantly be in a good mood and wake up on the right side of the bed. And some days you just wake up and you're not into it that day. And it was pretty obvious from the first couple holes that she was just not quite herself. And it's really shown, unfortunately.
one of her better swings of the day. Got a chance at a birdie here at this would be categorized in the too little too late department for No, but building towards the next start.
She spent so much of this year inside the top 17, 5 of her 6 starts. This one's just getting away.
95%, almost full go swing here after kind of playing through the corridors on these front 9 par 4s.
Great call. Yeah, you really do feel like you can launch it. Especially after Lindy losing a couple at 5 and 6. Yealimi's on the way.
That one chases down nicely. All 3 of those players should be able. The shot she lost in the front, but get one more. Getting greedy, Lindy Duncan. I appreciate it here at 8.
Yealimi with a little bit shorter, but she needs an eagle on this one to get it going.
She needs everything.
She needs an eagle here. Oh, almost had a fly in the whole albatross. She's an eagle here, an eagle at 9. Then she needs the wind to really, really blow this afternoon. So.
Yeah, the cut's got to 1, and
it's not going back to even.
I don't think so. I think with the wind that we've got at the moment. Just walk away with a 2-putt birdie.
Allie, I
couple of cracks at it and still not able to climb all the way to the top in what has been a wonderful Friday. Too many big mistakes from Yealimi Noh, but is in for a 2-putt birdie here. And this group has 1 to go as they walk to the 9th.
Pins on the front right today. That'll open it up really nicely.
Hardest hole for the week. It is the 3rd hardest hole today. Just 8 birdies combined. All of yesterday's first round and today. There's been just 2 birdies and just 2 birdies here today. Somebody hold it for eagle today. Here at 9.
One of her best swings of the day there for Yealimi Noh.
That a little heavier. Kay was just wiping her face off. Yealimi with 135 now.
It's kind of the day, isn't it? And that one is not going to walk the same tightrope that Lindy Duncan had. But Duncan's Yealimi Noh wrapping up her week, and unfortunately wrapping it up with a drop here at the 9th. Now 4th shot at the par 4. Three top 10s this year, 5 top 20s, including that win. But
afternoon group, it is toasty. Lindy even has her sun umbrella out, which I haven't seen her do that often. So it's just really muggy. It's getting a little windy and really, really hot.
Yealimi Noh now.
I don't know if she's more annoyed by the fact that she can't tap that in, or that she missed